Wait, hold on, I just realized Ariana Grande is in the background.
She won't mind. We've installed a lot of lights so far, but it's time for the grand finale. We're amping up our lighting game with some of the most beautiful decorative fixtures we've ever seen. Are we walking down to a garage or the Ritz-Carlton? I'm not sure. This is a huge step to making our house feel like a home, and in this video, we're going from start to finish on all 7. There are some hilarious Easter eggs in here, and as always, fixing screw-ups that you don't want to miss.
Why would I stand on the bed?
We're having a pillow fight. Maybe crop dusted the assistant at the bottom of the ladder. So without further ado, let's get to our first stop. The bedroom. As you can see, we already have our bed assembled here. So this light fixture is one of the last things we got to put up. We do not have trim yet, but that's a project for a different day. But we want to get this beautiful light fixture up because it's right over top the bed. We want to be able to put the bed roughly where it's supposed to be. And this is going to be a little bit of an interesting one because this is a really big light fixture and there's a lot of pieces. Assembling this thing might be a little bit of a project, but we're gonna give it our best shot.
We first saw this light fixture at the International Builder Show and really liked it when we saw it in person. We thought about doing a fan in the bedroom, but ultimately decided on a chandelier. So we're gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be fun. All right. Yes.
Wow.
Hopefully it's not too big. We'll find out. I think
No.
it's gonna be good.
No, that'll look good. We have the same type of mounting box as we use on the fan in the other room, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I think I'll definitely not use this again. It's kind of weird because the box is not a full circle. You actually have to put the mounting screws outside the box into the stud that the box is nailed to. So the fixture really isn't attached to the box at all. It's going through the drywall and straight into the stud beneath it. I'm gonna guess we might need to trim this lamp rod down a little bit. So unfortunately, the downside of using a shallow box is I can't just screw the lamp rod in much more. They said they wanted a 1/4 inch of thread here, I think.
Yes.
Which I think is fine. That was a minimum 1/4 inch thread. So let me see that thing. I mean, this is basically mocking it up if we were to have this installed right now. Our rod is not perfectly perpendicular to the ceiling right now. All right, we've temporarily secured that where it needs to be. There's no wires involved yet. And we got our chain hanging. They give you plenty of length if you have a really high ceiling. We are definitely not going to be putting it down this low, that's for sure. Now we just need to hold this guy up and figure out roughly where we want to cut this chain. You can just open and close the links with the pliers, so it's not the end of the world if we get it wrong, but it would be nice to just get it right the first time.
It's hard. It's not like you're in a dining room, you're in a bedroom.
Right.
So it can be higher.
Too low still? Also think that you're gonna have the bed underneath. You're not gonna be able to stand on the bed if that's what you're planning on doing.
Why would I stand on the bed?
We're having a pillow fight.
I think you want it at least that tall.
Yeah, grip there so you got both the chain and the fixture. Once you get it all filled out with these big glass things too, it's gonna feel bigger.
That's
I would
true.
go even higher.
I think that makes sense because you're
Yeah.
kind of like at the height of the bottom of the doorway.
Right.
The bottom of the fixture is almost as tall as the door. So that's master link and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's only 4 links.
If it's up too high, it kind of like, you kind of lose it in the room.
Yeah.
Here it still looks like a little bit of a statement. All right, we are ready to hook this up now that we know our chain length.
Wait, hold on, I just realized Ariana Grande is in the background.
She won't mind. We're ready to hook this up electrically. I've wrapped our bare copper ground around this green ground screw on the mounting bracket, and now we just have simple 1-wire to 1-wire connections on the fixture itself. Note this red wire here, we will not be using this. We ran 14-3 Romex, which means it has 2 conductors, both the black and the red. That's in the case you want to power a fan or a light separately like we did in the other room. We're not going to be using it, but we'll just keep this capped off and tucked in the box. If at some point down the road we want to switch to a fan, we have this and we can do a fan switch plus a light switch on the wall. Tuck him up there for safekeeping.
And make sure that cap is on tight.
Cap is on as tight as it can be. Guess what? It's not hooked up to anything else in the wall. It's just a piece of copper and plastic in the wall.
Just try to be as careful as possible. So screw the finish up too much.
Plan B, protect with tape, use vice grips.
There you go. Peeling it off by trying to get it.
Just added a little extra patina.
So now we string our wire through our rings. but we're probably gonna wanna cut this first.
With these clear wires, similar to the fan, there's no like obvious indicator which is neutral and which is hot, except one of the wires is ribbed and one is smooth. I think the ribbed one is the neutral. Ribbed fixture goes to white, smooth fixture wire goes to black. And I'm actually not using wire nuts for these. They do supply nuts with it, but I'm using the Wago connectors, which are good for connecting stranded wire, like that comes with these lamp fixtures, to solid copper wire, like Romex. And the Wagos do not take much, maybe like 3/8 of an inch, I think, is all it needs to strip.
I'll hold.
The wire's gotta go up through the freaking center. Okay, second problem. That little rod there is hollow and the wires need to come up through it. The problem is this is such a shallow box, the rod is touching the box and I can't get the wires up through it. So I gotta cut the end off this little rod. All right, this is take 2. By the magic of film, the threaded rod is now shortened. I had none of the correct tools to do that job. I used the metal cutting blade and my Sawzall with just my hand running the blade while I clamped the rod to the table saw with vice grips and a DeWalt, quick grip clamp. I didn't have a bench vise or a regular hacksaw here, so you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, get the job done, and it did take quite a bit longer than it should have, but we're here. Seemingly minor difference, but now with those cords coming up through the hole in that lamp rod, we can finally put the escutcheon plate back on. And here's our Wago connectors all connected up. These things are so easy, I love them.
The last step is to put the glass and steel pieces on. The assembly instructions have these 2 nice diagrams where they show you exactly where each leaf goes. There are steel leaves and then there's also large and small glass leaves. Based on this diagram, we are going to take it one at a time and slowly transform the fixture. Alex is gonna be the installer. It's gonna be super easy, starting with some glass ones and working our way around. First one done. I was thinking this was gonna be like a huge project to get the glass on here, but it's actually very straightforward. First look at the light fixture all assembled. It looks so good. It looks very earthy and organic, which is what we're going for specifically in this room. Overall, the design of the house is kind of a mix between modern and traditional farmhouse with just some earthy elements. And the texture in this light fixture is just perfect. We don't have any light bulbs just yet to turn it on and see what it looks like, but we'll make sure to show you once we do. We're installing a lot of lighting in this video. We put a lot of thought into every single fixture that we picked and the placement of them. If you like anything that you see in this video, we put together a little blog post that just has all of those products listed so you can easily find them. You can click the card here to get that link.
All right, we're moving on. It's starting to look like Progress Lighting Central in here. Next up, the stairway. We have 3 lights. 2 are sconces that are on the walls going up the stairs, and the last one is a really sweet looking pendant that's gonna hang at the top. Starting with the pendant. This thing is so cool. What's the name of this one?
I don't know, it's like a geometric type.
I think it's called the Latham.
But it's really cool, and it has this tinted milky glass, which I think
it's all pentagonal. It's a pentagonal prism, which is interesting. And here's a sneak peek of its younger brother. This is the smaller version, same shape. This is gonna go in the pantry as a pendant.
This light fixture is definitely a bit more on the modern side, but I think combining it with the 2 sconces we picked will help soften it.
George, are you gonna be the lighting installer? Or you just want food?
You want more food?
You just want food?
Ooh, look at the glass. It has like a texture to it too. I love the detail. First up, we're installing the sconces.
Now we are ready for the light fixture.
We're gonna have so much more light in here. This area gets pretty dark.
All right, so our ground, we just need to wrap it around our green screw before we connect it to our actual ground wire. On second thought, I'm only gonna use the 2-way Wago on the ground because I didn't realize there's a wire coming off for each light bulb. So we got 2 blacks and 2 whites. Lamp holder, please. I really don't love doing the stranded to solid with wire nuts, but I think she's gonna work. It works, but it's just...
It's not gonna start a fire, right?
Could burn the entire house down, who knows? Black to black, white to white, gold to gold. Get the little tug test. We're ready to mount her up. Where you at? There we go. Now it's snugging up. Beautiful.
Woohoo! Looks good.
Yep, it looks pretty darn level. It's tricky to get the light bulb in there.
You gotta do it from the top.
Yeah, can't really
But yeah,
reach
you're
the-
too tough. It's too high.
Just move the seam to the back.
Look at that attention to detail. Even detailed in design.
I'll take one, you take one. There she is. Very elegant.
Yeah.
It's up there, but those extensions coming down definitely help make it seem smaller. We mocked this up a while ago. I don't even really remember how we did it.
I got this
What do we have here?
really expensive light, and I'm making sure it fits.
Yeah, that is quality American manufacturing.
I am a visual person, and I'm trying to figure out the sconce height for in the stairway. And so I wanted to mock something up similar to what I'm gonna be looking at for a light fixture, which is gonna be some type of sconce that has like a can underneath it.
That isn't the sturdiest light fixture I've ever seen. Holy smokes. 8 foot to the box. It looks pretty normal here. It seems normal.
I don't know.
It's a good thing we didn't hire our own electrician because they probably would have ripped our heads off by now with the amount of indecisiveness and on-the-fly decision-making that is being done on this project.
I think we were planning on a light fixture that was going downwards, actually. So I think that's why it looks so high.
It'll work.
It'll look good.
Here's a test run.
Ah! Oh, wrong light.
With the right light.
There we go. Ooh!
Wow, it's bright.
I like how that looks, though.
Definitely helps. Yeah, it's pretty. I like where it's at. Yeah, it looks a lot more normal coming down the stairs. It's right at eye level, so that makes more sense. Fast forward to the second one, and we officially have the fanciest garage to house stairway there ever was. Are we walking down to a garage or the Ritz-Carlton? I'm not sure. All right, we're a little tight here in the top of the stairway, but we're gonna get this done.
This angle's just so funny.
Luckily, I've got the Wagos on my side. I think I can get this all up with basically one hand. Rib going in the hot. I would be lost without these Wagos for this application because the wire nuts definitely require 3 hands. Whereas this, I can get away with 2 hands. Wago engaged. We're going for 2. Lego, we got 2. Gotta do the twist-a-roo here. Throw it in the Wago. And then tighten. Arms are starting to fatigue. Grounding complete. Nubs at the ready. Nubs.
Nubs, oh God, you're fine.
Maybe I've crop dusted the assistant at the bottom of the ladder. Okay, I cannot laugh too much. I am on the edge of a very steep staircase. Do not make me laugh. Do not make me laugh.
I'm dying.
Oh my gosh. Nub.
I'm gonna be passing out from gas.
Give me the second nub. Oh my gosh. That Italian sausage just went right through me. Holy smokes, we might have done it, folks. Nubs have been tightened. Gas is dispersing.
Final touch.
The light bulb. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
Oh, that light picture is so cool.
That is really cool.
The video does not do it justice at all.
This thing is so cool. It's just not often you see things that are pentagon shaped. Next up was the fan in the second bedroom, which will now be the nursery. In both of the bedrooms, we were prepped for a fan, which calls for a sturdier mount than a normal ceiling fixture. There are these special fan boxes that attach directly to framing and still give you some room for wires to tuck in, but honestly, I did not love how tight I had to push the wires into these L-shaped ones. They're really cheap, but in the future, I'm using the traditional stretcher type mount with a full volume box or a heavy duty side mount if I have framing where I need it. All right, you got the thing?
Yeah. You gotta let me hold it.
Red to blue, black to black, white to white, green to green to green. We're Gucci.
My arms are about to fall the freak off.
You only wanted to hang a fan tonight.
It's a pretty cool thing though, because then it covers it up. Okay.
All right, fan is hung. It's flexible. The fan we picked has reversible blades and no exposed fasteners, which I'm a big fan of, plus its own LED built-in light fixture. And just watch me drop it, shatter all over the place. That looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Okay, here's fan light only. Ba-bing. Definitely glad we put the cans in because it's a lot brighter when you got cans in too.
This is a good night light.
We almost put just this light in, which would have worked. But yeah, it is very dim by itself. I'm glad we got the cans in. All right, speed 1 for fan. I was worried about the diameter of this fan. This is the smaller version of it. The thing that worried me with the large fan is that it would hit this angled ceiling, which it probably would still work, but it would not have scaled well to the room at all. This is the perfect size for the room.
Wow, it moves a lot of air. That's just one?
That's 1. We're showing 4 here, but the fan is going as slowly as you'd expect. See if it gets faster when I go to 3. Going to 2.
This switch came with the fan and it's kind of weird, but the higher the number, the slower it goes. Not sure if that's by design or I somehow messed up wiring, but that's what it does. When it's on speed 1 though, it is practically a hurricane in here.
The next light we're working on is the chandelier that's going over the dining room area. Alex is working on putting up the mounting plate right now. I just prepped the light with some of the metal rods that go around the wires. So we're gonna try the length that I currently have it at. We think we're probably gonna have to max it out just because our ceilings are 10 foot tall, but we will see.
This is only 2?
No, that's 3. I think that it needs 1 more.
Keep in mind where the table's gonna be.
Yeah, because you want it lower over your table. I think that's what we want, is 1 more, right?
Are there rods that stick off the bottom of this?
Yeah, they're little tiny guys. Most of the light fixtures that we chose have these different length rod sections that it comes with. Most of them come with several of the longer ones and then at least 1 short one. So that works out great in situations like this where you don't necessarily want another full length. You can use a little smaller length.
Before we even bother putting the whole chandelier up, I always test the escutcheon plate to make sure that the correct length of screw is sticking out, because the little nubs that go on these things are blind, which means a screw cannot go all the way through them. It's not like a regular nut. So there's only so much engagement they have, and you want to have enough to hold the light up, but not so much that you bottom out in that little nub, and then this escutcheon plate is loose because it's not holding it tight to the ceiling. So I would say the magic length is probably 3/16 of an inch or so. Maybe that's like 4 or 5 threads hanging out from the escutcheon plate, and that's where you want to be.
All of the sections come with this threaded nipple, and I found that it's easiest to get the wires through your section by removing the nipple first. Otherwise, you're going to be battling just trying to get them all through that tiny little space, and then you can put it back on before you attach each section. Most of the light fixtures that we chose can be hung at an angle. This last section that's threaded can actually bend, so if your ceiling has a slope of some sort, you can hang the escutcheon plate at an angle, but the light fixture will be vertical. Where do we want to move this to? Hey, you gonna help? You wanna help? Okay, you get this side. Okay, good job. Oh, you're stretching? You getting ready?
Good boy, George.
3, 2, 1. Oh, you're so strong.
Keep going. There we go. I think the longer extension might be kind of nice, because you're never going to be, I mean, yes, you would hit your head on it if you're walking by it, but the idea is the table's always underneath of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too high. You should be able to.
Yeah, I can. This is an arm workout for me.
You're feeling what electricians feel every day. A lot of overhead, upper arms.
I remember doing all the wiring and feeling that way after like pulling all that wiring.
Nubs, check. I don't know what the technical term for this would be other than a nub. Acorn nut, I think, is how the non-decorative ones are termed.
She's in.
Yep, should be good.
All right, we think we're happy with the height. Now to add all the little details. This chandelier, along with the 2 sconces that we used in the staircase, can be configured in multiple ways. So there's these little extension pieces that can go on the bottom here, which we're gonna add. And you don't have to do that. You can actually unscrew this off the bottom and put it in here, I think, maybe, yeah. And then the other option you have is to put a shade on it or to not put a shade, or the type of shade that you put on there. And we are going with the same shades that we used in the staircase, which are these cloth white ones.
I think Progress has 3 types of shades. It's the tapered drum shade, the drum shade, and then there's like a real skinny one too.
And is that one glass? I think that one might be glass
It might
or
be.
something. Or you can do it without any shades. I think that's how they advertise it actually. It just has like a little light bulb in it. But I like the shades. It makes it more traditional and cozy.
Yeah, I think it looks really good with the shades.
This is gonna look so nice with the details that we do on this wall. It's gonna look really elevated.
Ta-da! Yeah, that's a nice ambiance. I like the bulb temperature too. These are 3500K bulbs, so they're sort of a mix right in between the soft white and the daylight. Our cans are 3500, I believe, and that's kind of why we like that temperature. We've experienced it, and it's just a good happy medium. When the light is too yellow, it feels just very like old, and if it's too white, it feels like sterile and hospital-like. But the 3500 we found is like a good happy medium. Maybe a little bit yellower wouldn't be too bad, but I really like this temperature.
This gives off a lot of light too. It's so pretty.
All that work during Ruffin paid off, figuring out where this light needed to be. A lot of mock-ups with this table and where the box in the ceiling was gonna go. All right, kids, don't try this at home. Next is the island pendants, and I'm using the countertop as my ladder. So we've cushioned it with a moving blanket, some cardboards. Now I'm gonna use the step stool to actually hang the thing up. I still have to get up there and do some prep work with the ground pigtail and get all the back plate mounted and everything. Elena will be here on the ground prepping the pendants.
The pendant that we chose for the kitchen is the same one that we used in the understair area in the garage, but these are gold instead of black. We just liked how this was simple, but then elegant with that gold color. We're not sure exactly how long the stem needs to be yet, so I have 2 sections on this one. I'm probably gonna do 2 sections on the next one. And then the one challenge we have is we do have the 3rd one on a slope. You can see on our ceiling, we have a seam right where the dormer meets the 10-foot ceiling. So we're gonna have to figure out exactly how we're gonna get these fixtures to be at the same exact hanging height once we get the first 2 hung over here. We may get lucky and the smaller section may get us there, but if not, we'll have to fabricate something ourselves.
All right.
Here, step on my leg.
Yeah, that'll be easier. 1, 2, 3. Always recommended to turn off the breaker of the light you're working on, but then we would have no light because all of our upstairs lighting is on the same breaker. So this is on a 3-way switch though, and I'm not 100% sure if this is on or off. So I'm gonna go ahead and probe this, make sure that it's off before I strip the ends of these and put Wago connectors on them. The first 2 were easy. Now it's time for the tough one, which is this guy on the slope ceiling. So I have that escutcheon just temporarily up there, and I've set up my laser level on a tripod that's absolutely maxed out, and just so happens that it's just barely enough to touch the bottom edge of these brass fixtures. So I'm gonna use that. I already know there's no way that the stock extensions that come with these lights will work for this slope ceiling. So I'm gonna have to cut one down and tap it. I'm gonna measure down from that escutcheon to where the laser hits the tape measure, and that will get me my total length. All right, I bumped it up a little bit so that the laser is right on the last groove. And first of all, how incredible is it how close these 2 things are to being exactly the same height? This ceiling is level, and that's kind of cool to see that. I realized I have a few extra of these rods, so I'm just gonna screw it on just like I would with the normal light. And then where the laser hits this, in theory, should be where I need to cut one of them. And there we are. You just need to leave a mark there. It is incredibly close to being correct with the short one. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch off, but it's not right. So we're gonna have to cut this guy off just a little bit and re-tap it so that we can get an 1/8 inch MPT in there.
One down. It's so stinking cute.
Ta-da!
Yay. I gotta clean the glass.
Dim it down, dim it up. Finally, we've come to the last 3 lights. We saved the toughest ones for last. These required a little bit of figuring out and a little bit of modifications to the lights to make them work because of a little mistake we made during Rough Electrical. If you're not aware, we have tilt-turn windows, which mean they open inwards, right? So they swing in like a door, and they can also tilt in from the top for just ventilation. We originally selected this light fixture right here. It has just a simple back plate, one hinge, and it hangs down from the ceiling. Well, we thought we mocked this up correctly when placing these boxes during Rough Electrical, but after drywall and paint, we went ahead and just mock installed one just to see, and it was probably an inch or so at least that it interfered with the window, and that was not gonna work. So thankfully, Progress Lighting had a solution that we could still make this style light fixture work. And that is this guy right here. This is a wall sconce from Progress Lighting in the same basic style, same escutcheon plate, same bell-shaped shade, and the only thing we had to do to make this thing fit was take out the center long link. That would allow the short link to sort of move the light location up the ceiling a little bit, so when the shade comes down vertically, it doesn't hit the window. The end result is that the shade just barely clears. This one clears by literally like 1/8 of an inch. Up top, it is so close. And honestly, I don't think it looks really that weird with the arm coming up like that. It doesn't look that much different than when it was just angled from the bottom.
When we initially realized that the first light fixtures we picked wouldn't work, I scoured the internet for basically any option that might work. And honestly, these fixtures were the only thing that we could figure out because we knew we might be able to remove some of those linkages and make it work.
So the initial disassembly of this is really easy. The hard part of this swap is these little round ball joint things are not totally smooth. They have teeth, and there's male and female versions. So when you take out this middle link, you have a male to a male. So you have to figure out how to unscrew the female off of the linkage portion here. The hard part about that is you have nothing to like grip a wrench on, and they epoxied the threads on when they put these on. They glued them. And it's extremely difficult, I've found, to break that glue bond. You have to use heat. So we're gonna go downstairs and do that.
All right, don't break this. Oh, yep, here we go.
That was a lot easier than the last one. The crescent wrench was a game changer. Last time I was trying to grip that little collar. See all the glue though? It's like thread locker. These things are kind of tough to get off too. Oh my God. It worked. So there's the male, there's the female. And I need to put a nipple in this one too. That's also what took me so long last time. I had to make this nipple out of a piece of lamp rod. Luckily we have extras now. A little ground wire, lock washer. The nice thing is that since these are just cast pieces, they're all exactly the same. There's no guessing at what angle to put both of these. The teeth are only gonna lock in one spot.
As icing on the cake for these three above the sink, we didn't mount the boxes quite low enough, so they were slightly recessed into the drywall. Luckily, these yellow caterpillar shims make for an easy fix for this common issue.
Ta-da! I'm in the bathroom for the very last two Progress light fixtures that we need to put up. These are the two decorative sconces that are going over our double vanity. And we just got the countertops done in this vanity, which will be a whole separate video on that. But as soon as the countertop guys left, we were looking at these lights and I was like, something does not seem right about that at all. I got out my laser level and lo and behold, this light is about 4 inches shifted to the left further than it should be. That one over there is about 3/4 inches to the right, which I think is gonna be okay. In any case, this right light box is gonna have to move. I figured out what the root cause of this was. It was really just because of how we changed this vanity as I was building it. It's a custom vanity, basically looks like a piece of furniture, and it is 72 inches wide like originally planned. However, because it looks like a piece of furniture, we sat it out from the side wall 1.5 inches. And when I was building the vanity, we liked the sinks a little bit further apart, 34 inches instead of the standard 30-inch vanity width. So because of those sinks widening and the whole thing shifting over, this light fixture really got impacted. Luckily, those two changes sort of canceled out a little bit, and that one is gonna be okay, I think. And when I was thinking back to how I originally did this in rough-in, I just did exactly what you'd expect. Find the middle of the 72-inch vanity away from the wall, so come 3 foot out from the wall, and then my sink spacing at a standard 30-inch apart leaves 15 inches on either side of the center mark. which is where these light boxes are mounted. So 2020 hindsight, maybe I should have just left these wires stubbed out in the wall and drilled the holes in after the fact, or just had a better grip on what kind of vanity we're gonna build before roughing this electrical in, but it's hard to be that prepared that far in advance. So here's the good news though. This was right on a stud before, and that meant I had to use this pancake box so I can see the stud behind here, and I'm gonna be moving this over to basically where there is no stud. So I could have used a rough-in new construction box like I used over here that nails to the side, but this is gonna work out in my favor because I can just unscrew this box, take it out of the wall. I'm gonna have to drill a new hole here, and I might be able just to put some blocking on the side of this stud, or worst case, I can use an old work circle box that sort of clamps to the back of the drywall, but I don't think this is gonna be too bad. Now, something really saving me here is the fact that we put excess wire in the wall at every single fixture and receptacle box. This was something that people commented on our rough-in video and were like, that is so unnecessary, such a waste of wire. But look now, it's saving our butts, and I'm so happy that I don't need to like try to fish a new wire through the wall because I didn't leave enough wire. Like, I know that there's a 6-inch excess loop of wire back there that I can easily shift this light over, no problem. Forgot how beefy these things were. It's like a lag screw. Look at that, came right out. I didn't be able just to temporarily get this wire out of here, so I'll have to hang this box everywhere I go. My dust catching tape. And there we go. Look at that. That should work just fine, the patch. That's like perfect. An old work drywall box, which has these little ears that clamp on the drywall, would be the perfect tool for this right now. However, I don't have one and I don't feel like going to get one, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Instead, I have a piece of hickory, which I found in my scrap wood bin. And I'm gonna pocket screw this to that stud and then do a couple drywall screws into the face of it to give some support for that pancake box. I'm just gonna use the same box. And this is my no-cost solution to fix this problem. I'm just gonna push this rock wool back here. It's not doing anything except doing a little bit of extra sound deadening. Plenty of room for my wire. These are just a couple 2-inch deck screws. That hickory is like solid as steel. You can only find one fine thread screw, but ideally that's what you want. You know, I am gonna pre-drill because these screws are really brittle. They might break if I put too much torque on it. You can literally smell the smoked hickory after drilling that stuff. Feels pretty solid. Whoa, this hardwood is no joke. Screw doesn't want to go. Holy guacamole. Should be using one Phillips bit up too though. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere. And check this out. I couldn't have made a better piece to fill that in. Now we gotta retape and mud and paint this, which no one wants to see in the lighting videos. Let's get to the good part. And would you look at that? Got to change a wardrobe and a patched piece of drywall. I might need one more coat of paint because you can see the shadows still. I have 2 coats on there now, but I'm gonna get the lights up, and if you can still see it, then I'll worry about that then. These are gonna be beauties. So it's a double fixture in that champagne gold. I believe you can either mount these in the downwards or upwards position. We're doing down. That's gonna look gorgeous. We're in the home stretch. Now, against good judgment, this circuit is actually live. It's tied to the overhead lights here. So when I screw this light bulb in, theoretically, it should turn on. Ta-da! Oh, this is one of the dud light bulbs. You can see them start glowing, but these LEDs are so hit or miss when you get these cheap ones. And of course now I'm out of these, so I don't have any more of these. All I have are these lame generic white replacements, so those will have to do for now. Ta-da! Now we just need to do the same thing over here. And we have officially completed all of our decorative lighting in the whole house. This is awesome. There's not even one of these progress lights that we changed. We just really like how they all look. They all form a cohesive design that Elena spent a lot of time thinking about, and the decision fatigue for lighting is real. There's like just bajillions of choices. One thing we liked about Progress is they have them organized in collections that takes a lot of that decision fatigue away and really helps you make a decision on light fixtures much easier than if you just had a full catalog with like a million options in it. Kind of like our appliances too, these lights have that really high-end look, but without the extremely high-end price tag that comes with a lot of lighting. For some reason, decorative light fixtures are kind of like tile in that manufacturers seem to just charge whatever they feel like, and it's just the branding that seems to dictate the price regardless of quality, and a lot of them probably come out of the same factory anyway. So one thing we appreciate about Progress is it's really high-end looking fixtures at an affordable price point that are accessible to common people that want that high-end look but can't necessarily put, you know, $20,000, $30,000 in their budget for light fixtures. That is a full wrap on all of our lighting, including our decorative lighting. These things look awesome, and we are so freaking happy with how they turned out.
Yeah, and if you like any of the lights that you saw in this video, we have a link to a blog post on our website that has all of the products listed, so you can check those out there.
As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.